Genesis chapter 16, Sarai and Hagar. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, had not been born any children, and she had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abraham, "See here, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. I am asking you to go into the bed of my mates that she may bear you a child. Perhaps I will obtain children by her." I wondered, God said I'm going to have children, but I'm trying to figure out on my own how I can have these children instead of trusting God and letting God show me. So she's going out on her own thoughts of how they're going to get all these descendants. So Abram listened to Sarah and did as she said. After Abram had lived in the land of Canaan 10 years, Abraham's wife Sarah took Hagar, the Egyptian maid, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his secondary wife. He went into the bed of Hagar, and she conceived, and then she realized that she had conceived. She looked with contempt on her mistress, regarding Sarah as insignificant because of her infertility. Sharing your marriage bed with someone else just leads to jealousy and everything else, and so that was wrong thinking to obtain something. So even obtaining something that's not the way God's showing you is going to leave strife and jealousy and bad thoughts in you. Then Sarah said to Abraham, "May the responsibility for the wrong done to me by the arrogant behavior of Hagar be upon you. I gave my maid into your arms, and when she realized that she had conceived, I was despised and looked on with disrespect. May the Lord judge who has done right between you and me." But Abram said to Sarah, "Look, your maid is entirely in your hands and subject to your authority. Do as you please with her." So Sarai treated her harshly and humiliated her, and Hagar fled from her. But the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, on the road to Egypt by way of Shur. And he said to Hagar, Sarai's maid, "Where did you come from, and where are you going?" And she said, "I am running away from my mistress Sarai." The angel of the Lord said to her, "Go back to your mistress and submit humbly to her authority." Then the angel of the Lord said to her, "I will greatly multiply your descendants so that they will be too many to count." And then the angel of the Lord continued, "Behold, you are with child, and you will bear a son. You shall name him Ishmael." God hears because the Lord has heard and paid attention to your persecution, your suffering. So he, Ishmael, will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against every man, continually fighting, and every man's hands against him. And he will dwell in defiance of all his brothers. And then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, "You are God who sees." For she said, "Have I not even here in the wilderness remained alive after seeing him who sees me with understanding and compassion?" Therefore the well was called Well of the Living One Who Sees Me. It is between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar gave birth to Abram's son, and Abram named his son, to whom Hagar gave birth, Ishmael. God hears. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar gave birth to Ishmael. This is your daily Bible chapter reading God's Word Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow.